They are Christians. They believe in Jesus. They believe in Yeshua. They call themselves Israel. No problem with that thus far. Remember, I don't have a problem with being Israel unless you say they're not Israel. Okay? There's the delineation. Okay? Christians call themselves Israel, okay, but with a unique twist. They claim natural descendancy from the 10 lost tribes. Okay? They believe that they found subtle clues that the 10 tribes have migrated to Europe intact out of Assyria. So tribe of Dan, intact, went here. Tribe of Naphtali, intact, went here. And there are clues around town. It's almost like a mysterious puzzle. Like, oh, I found this and I found this, and it's this amazing mystery. So, as an example, Brit-ish, right? Brit is the Hebrew word for covenant, right? Like Brit Hadashah, right? The new covenant. Okay, Brit is the word for covenant. Ish is the Hebrew word for man. So British becomes covenant man in Hebrew. Okay? Covenant man. Right? Anglo-Saxon, right? Saxon sounds like Saxon, like Isaac's son.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding. The Danube River was named after the tribe of Dan. Okay? I mean, it's out there. Susie and I were at a conference a couple of years ago, and there was a person who told me he's from the tribe of Dan. Now, in general, I don't have a problem with that. Why do you think you're from the tribe of Dan? Tell me why you feel that way. Well, my last name is McDonald. Okay? Well, Don, D-N, Dan, that's the tribe of Dan, and it ends in L, which is God. So I'm God's judge from the tribe of Dan. Okay. Now, I can't confirm or deny it. I'm not going to say you're wrong. I don't know where you come from. We're all a bunch of mutts. Okay? I don't know if he has a great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather from the tribe of Dan. I don't know. I have no problem with that. Okay? So anyway, because the British are the natural descendants of Israel, and the Europeans are, therefore Americans also are the natural descendants of Israel. Okay? Of the 10 tribes. This was popularized by Herbert Armstrong and the Worldwide Church of God. In the 50s, 60s, into the 70s, the Worldwide Church of God adhered to aspects of Torah with their own interpretations. They kept Passover on a different day because they got it right. They keep the new moons on a different thing because they got it right. Anyway, and they all believed they were natural descendants of the lost tribes. The Worldwide Church of God abandoned British Israelism in 1995, and they left a void in that belief. In fact, they wound up changing their name, and they're just a standard traditional Christian group now. So they left the void. So in comes Messianic Judaism and another little subdivision called Hebrew roots. Let me explain what's going on. So the adherents to British Israelism found their way to Messianic Judaism. Okay? Susie and I experienced it in our last congregation. They're drawn to Messianic Judaism because we love Yeshua, and we keep Torah. And they were very passionate about their Torah beliefs. So like, this is great. Right? They didn't really find a warm welcome. So they come into the Messianic congregations, and they're like, we're Israelites. And the Messianic congregation predominantly went, huh? Yeah, I'm from the tribe of Asher. And I'm from the tribe of Zebulun. Huh? Okay, how do you know? Because whatever the proof is that they found. So, because of their insistence on lost tribe descendancy, plus their very strict and differing Torah observances, they didn't really find much of a welcome. So off they go, and now the modern-day Hebrew Roots movement, as it's called, was formed. Okay? Many, not all, in the Hebrew Roots movement, which is a parallel thing to Messianic Judaism, adhere to British Israelism, and it was rebranded to something called the Two Houses, the Two-House Theology, okay? Or Ephraimite Theology, okay? They view themselves as the house of Israel. Remember in the beginning we spoke about the 10 northern tribes of Israel and the 2 southern tribes of Judah and Benjamin. So they view themselves as the house of Israel. We're the house of Israel. We're not the house of Judah, who are the Jews. So unlike strict replacement theology, many affirm God's plans for Judah, for the kingdom of Judah. So they won't call Israel Israel. They're Israel. We're Judah. I'm Judah. I'm not Israel. I'm Judah. Okay? That's where they have it. My dad is not Israel. He doesn't merit the name Israel because he's from the house of Judah. They're Israel. From the lost tribes, and they got it figured out. So, I want to talk about the claims of Israelite descent. I cannot confirm or deny. There are many people that come to me and say, I know that I have Israelite descent. I know it. Baruch Hashem. I can't confirm it. I can't deny it. Baruch Hashem. Okay? Great. No problem. But I've looked into this whole theory that there are hidden clues that the tribes went intact. The tribe of Dan went to Ireland, and the tribe of Zebulun went to Norway, or whatever it is. The fact that the whole thing about the tribes actually stayed intact in Assyria, left as an intact people group, and went to a certain place and formed the nation from there, I believe is unfounded. I believe I think it was said, it's like looking at a cloud and finding a shape and saying, yeah, there it is. But it's just a twist of light, of reflections. So where are the 10 lost tribes for real? Some merged with Judah when they came back. All right? For instance, as an example in the New Testament, Anna, the prophetess from the tribe of Asher, was there when Yeshua was born. Okay, so that's one of the lost tribes, but she was there in Judea. So some came back. Most were absorbed into Assyrian culture, okay, because they were sinning anyway. They were very, very far from the ways of God. So many were just absorbed with Assyrian culture and kind of just stayed there. And many, I agree, went elsewhere. Okay? It's obvious, right? I mean, I'm from the tribe of whatever, right? I'm here in America. I got here somehow, right? So our ancestors, they migrate. So it's undoubtedly that these people migrated around somewhere. In fact, there are small sects right now in Asia, in the Middle East, in India, in Africa. There are Ethiopian tribes that for generations they've been keeping, like they're wearing tzitzit and things like that. Where did you find that? And they're like they could very legitimately be descendants from the lost tribes because they have practices that they've had for generations. In fact, many people, the Jewish, a lot of Israel, they go and they check them out. A lot of them were allowed to come back into Israel. Some of them are not. There's actually messianic groups in Ethiopia. They believe in Yeshua. So, anyway, in my mind, this passion that's out there amongst some of being of natural descent, it doesn't really matter. It's sort of a distraction. It's not really that important because there is so much intermarriage and there's so much merging. I think that the fact that your great-great-great-great-grandfather on one side or your grandmother on some side has this type of thing, is from one of the tribes, Baruch Hashem. But I don't think it's really all that important right now. It says in the New Testament, don't pay attention to myths and endless genealogies, which give rise to mere speculation rather than furthering the administration of God, which is by faith. He also said, avoid foolish controversies and genealogies and strife and disputes about the law, for they are unprofitable and worthless. So, this is a picture of my grandfather's tombstone in Queens, New York. So it says about Grandpa Charles, my dad's dad, it says his name was Yehoshua, son of Isaiah, the Levite. Okay? And I remember my father telling me that I'm a Levite, that I descend from that tribe. Because obviously Grandpa Charles told him the same thing, and Charles was told by his dad, Isaiah, so much so that it's on his tombstone, that we descend from the tribe of Levi, we're Levites. But I got to tell you, I don't know if it's true. I'm being honest with you. I mean, look at me. I got the blue eyes. I got the German everything. I look more like I was in Hitler's army than in the... Okay? I mean, I got the, well, formerly blonde hair, now sort of gray. I mean, I got some shikshik in me, too. I got some Gentile in me, too, probably. I mean, how do I know that some person, you know, back a couple generations converted to Judaism, they were told, okay, you're now a Levite? I don't know. I bring this up because I don't think it's even that important for me. It's irrelevant. It's interesting. I think we all have interest in, like, our lineage. And I believe that in the resurrection, Adonai is going to reveal exactly who our ancestors are.
Can't wait.
So we can finally realize why we're all so screwed up.
We'll be perfect now.
Oh, now I get it.
I know why I am.
All right. So I'm going to talk. So anyway, so in conclusion to that, if somebody feels that they're of descendancy of an Israelite tribe, I will not say that it's not true. It doesn't matter to me. Just like my descendancy doesn't matter to me. So the Ephraimite era. So I want to talk about this. This is a belief system. It's out there. It's prevalent. You may see it on social media. It is out there, and I need to expose it and tell you it's wrong. So modern claimants to Israelite descendancy call themselves Ephraimites. The reason they call themselves Ephraimites is because Ephraim was the lead tribe of the 10 northern tribes. In fact, the capital, I believe, was in Ephraim. So they claim that the Jews of today, me, my dad, my sister who lives in Israel, her 9 children, aren't really Israelites. They're tribe of Judah, but they're not Israelites. Okay? So the Jews are Judah, they're not Israel. Therefore, Israelis are not real Israelites. Okay? They claim that only Ephraim rightfully bears the name of Israel. And the creation of the modern state of Israel was not a prophetic event, it is a political event. False. Let me go through it. Error number 1. The Jews are Judah and not Israel. The Israelis are not Israelites. Okay? That is wrong, and I'll tell you why. This whole separation of Judah and House of Israel and House of Judah, while it's historically accurate, I am from the House of Judah. It's historically accurate. But that concept of 2 separate houses devolved over time. And it became antiquated, and it actually ceased to be used after the Jews came back from Babylon. What is my proof of that? Paul in the New Testament. For I too am an Israelite, a descendant of Abraham of the tribe of Benjamin. Benjamin was a southern kingdom of Judah tribe. And here's Paul saying, I'm an Israelite. Duh!
Of course.
Peter, when he was in Acts, when he was filled with the Ruach, and he was talking to the people in the same speech, he called them men of Judea, and he called them men of Israel, in the same speech. Of course they're Judea. Of course they're the descendants of the house of Israel. But they're still Israel. I'm sorry, from the house of Judah. But of course they are Israel. They don't lose the term because historically there was the house of Israel and the house of Judah. There's always Israel, corporately, including you.
That's right.
Okay? Even in the book of Maccabees, which was not included in Scripture, but it took place between the closure of the Old Testament, Tanakh, and the beginnings of the New Testament, when Yeshua walked the earth, it speaks about the time of Hanukkah. It chronicles that whole thing. It says